welcome, I'm Pete. So in recent times there's been a phenomenon within the working world called quiet quitting. While it's a big ongoing debate and lots of things happening, I'm going to concentrate on one of my things, the hospitality sector. Let's have a look at the historical factors to the current scenario and how it ties together and why people might be shying away from the industry. Hospitality work in the Victorian era was quite formal and focused on providing service to the upper classes. Servants were expected to be discreet, efficient and maintain a high level of decorum. Meanwhile, in the Edwardian era, hospitality evolved. It became far more elaborate and sophisticated. There was a greater emphasis on entertainment, with lavish dinners, elegant parties becoming far more commonplace. Servants were still an integral part of this, but their roles expanded to include more specialised roles such as management, household budgets and coordinating events. Meanwhile, as we move into the modern era, hospitality has become far more inclusive and customer-centric. The focus is on providing personalised experiences and excelling customer service for guests from all walks of life. Technology has played a significant role, with online booking systems and digital concierge services becoming standardised within the industry. While the fundamental principles of hospitality remain the same, providing comfort, convenience and a warm welcome, the methods and techniques have evolved drastically, these to meet the demands of the contemporary world. The hospitality industry today shares similarities with the challenges faced during the Victorian and Edwardian eras, due to the demanding nature of providing exceptional service while balancing various tasks and expectations. Just as in the past, today's hospitality professionals must maintain a high standard of decorum, efficiency and discretion, while also adapting to modern technologies and evolving customer preferences. Additionally, the industry continues to require meticulous attention to detail, long hours and a strong dedication to ensuring guest satisfaction, mirroring the rigorous demands placed on workers in earlier times. So today I want to address an issue that affects many employees and managers in the hospitality industry, particularly in hotels and restaurants. This from a historian's perspective. In the heart of hospitality lies a looming crisis, the struggle to secure and retain staff. Compensations and grueling hours have become formidable barriers, hindering recruitment efforts and threatening the very foundation of our establishments. Yet, in the face of this challenge, there lies an opportunity to gain wisdom from history and chart a course towards a brighter future. It's time to heed the lessons of the past and confront the pressing issues at hand by acknowledging the realities of the present. We can pave the way for a sustainable and thriving future. Let us not falter in our resolve, but instead forge ahead with determination and innovation. For it is only by embracing change and adapting to the evolving needs of our workforce that we can hope to weather the storms ahead and emerge stronger than ever before. It's a concern that evolves around the expectation of working long hours without proper compensation, for the fear of repercussions and expressing dissatisfaction with the situation. Far too often, employees and managers in the hospitality sector find themselves working countless hours without adequate compensation or recognition. They dedicate their time and energy to ensure a smooth operation of their establishments, often sacrificing their own well-being in the process. Despite their efforts, they may feel undervalued and taken advantage of, leading to frustration and even disillusionment. What's even more concerning is the fear that accompanies speaking up about these issues. Many individuals worry that if they voice their concerns or refuse to work excessive hours for free, they will become targets for criticism or even face threat of losing their jobs. This has come to my attention by many employees over the years as a genuine thing. This fear can create a culture of silence where the employees feel compelled to endure unfair working conditions rather than risk their livelihoods. However, it is critical for companies to recognise the harmful effects of this dynamic. Employees should not have to choose between their health and their job security. It may not be the case they will lose their job for denying these hours, but that is the mental expectation. People are too afraid to ask. It's unacceptable to dismiss or retaliate against individuals who are simply advocating for fair treatment and respect in the workplace. Instead, companies should strive to create an environment where employees feel valued, supported and empowered to voice their concerns without fear of reprisal. This means implementing fair labour practices, providing adequate compensation for overtime work and fostering open communication channels between management and staff. Furthermore, companies must understand that investing their time with employees' well-being ultimately benefits the business as a whole. Happy and healthy employees are more productive, engaged and likely to provide exceptional service to your customers. By prioritising welfare of the workforce, companies can cultivate a positive culture and differentiate themselves as employers of choice in the competitive hospitality industry. So, in conclusion, it's time for change. Let's work together to ensure that employees and managers in the hospitality sector are treated with the respect and dignity they deserve. It's not everywhere, but I have been witness to a few scenarios in recent history that it was the case. Let's create workplaces where everyone can thrive, free from the fear of retribution or speaking up about unfair practices. Only then can we truly build a sustainable and thriving industry for the future. So it leads us to the quiet quitting phenomenon. It's a trend where people leave their jobs discreetly, usually due to burnout or dissatisfaction. With companies reducing their staff numbers, the workload for the remaining employees increases significantly. This means they have to take on more tasks, more responsibilities than they had previously done before, often without additional compensation or support. It can lead to burnout, also decreased morale and ultimately more employees considering quiet quitting as a way out. Quiet quitting, they do the bare minimum. Bare minimum, we'll get to that. The cutting of staff numbers as the only solution can have several negative consequences. Firstly, it puts an increased pressure on the remaining employees. Secondly, it can damage employee loyalty and trust in the company, leading to higher turnover rates and difficulty in attracting top future talent. Thirdly, it may also result in a loss of institutional knowledge. The skills will be gone and it can hinder long-term growth and innovation. Finally, it can create a negative public image for the company, impacting its reputation and relationships with customers, investors, and the wider community. Overall, relying solely on staff cuts as a solution can have a detrimental effect on both company and its employees. When companies cut staff numbers, it often leads to decreased productivity and lower quality in work. With fewer employees, there's more strain on those who remain, resulting in rush work, mistakes, and decreased efficiency. As a result, new customers may be deterred by poor product or service quality. The existing customers may become dissatisfied and take their business elsewhere. This can lead to a loss of revenue, damage to the company's reputation, and ultimately failure to retain customers in the long run, which is the biggest disaster possible in this industry. So it's crucial for companies to realise that staff cuts can have a direct impact on their ability to attract and retain customers. Going back again, during the Victorian and Edwardian eras, hospitality and serving staff frequently worked long hours, typically ranging from 60 to 80 hours a week. This was on average over a 6-day week. Current staff face the same amount of hours but over a lesser 5-day week. This demanding schedule often leads to physical exhaustion and limited time for personal activities. Despite advancements in labour laws and workplace regulations over the years, many workers in hospitality still face similar challenges, with long hours being a commonplace feature of the job. Also, as everyone knows, the dreaded back-to-back shift. I've done several and some very recently where I finished and had 5 hours to get home, sleep, walk the dog and be back in work. There is a 11-hour minimum between, just so you know. This persistent issue highlights the need for continued efforts to improve working conditions and ensure fair treatment for all employees in the hospitality sector. In summary, despite the advancements in laws and workplace regulations since the Victorian era, many managers and hospitality staff still face the same challenges as they did: long hours worked and inadequate financial compensations. The persistence of these issues highlights the need for continued efforts to improve working conditions and the unfair treatment for the employees throughout the industry. It's essential to shine a light on the importance of fairness and equality in the workplace. We've got to treat employees with respect and ensure they are properly compensated for their time and effort. This isn't just a matter of basic decency, it's a fundamental to creating a healthy and sustainable environment at work. When the employees are overworked and undercompensated, it not only harms their well-being, but also undermines morale, productivity, and ultimately the success of the business overall. Fair treatment fosters loyalty, commitment, and a sense of belonging. Also leads to greater job satisfaction and lower turnover rates. It's a matter of ethical responsibility for employers to prioritise the welfare of their workforce. They have to recognise the valuation of employees as individuals with lives outside of work. Not only is it the right thing to do, but it also makes immaculate business sense in the long run. Employers and governing bodies often express bewilderment at the mental health crisis in hospitality and also the difficulty in retaining or recruiting staff. However, I believe the reality is not as mysterious as it may seem. Many individuals are no longer willing to work grueling hours for minimal pay or no compensation for their overtime at all. Most hotels are offering minimum wage. It's just not attractive in this modern day and age with the cost of living crisis. The demanding nature of hospitality, combined with inadequate remuneration and a lack of work-life balance, has led to a decline in the attractiveness of those positions. As a result, employers are faced with challenges in recruiting and retaining qualified staff, while the mental health of those currently working in the industry continues to suffer. The theory, and justifiably, it continues, the staff calling sick frequently and more so in recent times, expressing mental health as causation, are generally not in a way of such an ill at all. But staff often use reasons that from an HR department perspective simply cannot and will not be challenged on. Employment protections of recent times are therefore giving employees a way to circumnavigate the rules. Foolproof ways to take time off at will. Studies have now started to suggest this. They simply do not have to give sickness reasons, and it's deemed unsuitable for managers to question their absences. The response of mental health as a sickness reason provides a blockade against such company inquisition. There are many people, and I can speak from a personal perspective of this, that have had mental health issues or depression. And it's a perfectly justified thing, but people have realised in the modern time they can use it to their advantage when it might not necessarily be the case. Hard facts, but facts are what we need to look at. Recognising and addressing these underlying issues is essential to fostering a healthy and more sustainable hospitality sector. People are coming in at the time, leaving at the time, doing the most minimal amount of work, because they don't feel valued and the money is not quite where they'd like it to be. In a culture of quiet quitting, it's imperative for companies to recognise the need for change. This includes paying employees adequately, respecting their time, and eliminating excessive overtime. More so than management, because obviously understaff would quite happily do overtime if it's suited. If we address these issues, companies can create more sustainable and supportive work environments where employees feel valued and motivated to contribute to their very best levels. If we fail to adapt to these changing expectations, the risks of losing the talented employees, damaging company reputation, and the perpetuating cycle of dissatisfaction and turnover will inevitably continue. Embracing these changes is not only essential for the well-being of employees, but also imperative for the long-term success and viability of every business. In conclusion, while the hospitality industry grapples with the challenges of quiet quitting epidemic, the struggles to retain staff and attract them, there is hope for growth and exceeding the expectations by involving an adaptation. We have to embrace it. By recognising the changing landscape of the industry, investing in innovative solutions such as improved working conditions, better training programs and technology integration, we can foster a more resilient and dynamic workforce. Though collective effort and commitment to continuous improvement, the hospitality industry has the potential to thrive and deliver unparalleled experiences for the guests, ultimately shaping a brighter future for all of us involved. So what's your take on this current situation? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Drop a comment below. If you could, please like the video, also subscribe. If you'd like to help me out, join my Patreon. The link is in the description. If you like this content, please do comment and let me know if there's anything else Victorian Edwardian related you'd like to see. For now, that's me. Enjoy your night, because it is for me. Take care. See you later. Thank you.